Hey everyone, this is Jeremy from Fat Airlines. In this video, we will talk about the future of World of Airports. We have a new update coming soon. We will go through the feedback portal to check what is coming soon. Additionally, the World of Airports developers have been active on Instagram and on Discord and have shared some insights into what is coming in the future. World of Airports has a feedback site where they list what bugs they are aware of, as well as sharing some planned updates. You can access the site from worldofairports.com/feedback. Some of the updates we can expect in the next World of Airports updates are new features, new player planes, new computer planes, new destinations, and bug fixes. Some of the new features include Woapedia, updated cars and buses, 3D IAD, the airport, and new language support. The new or updated player planes coming are the A306, the A333 Rolls-Royce, the A343, and the A346. Computer planes are also added for many plane types. Many destinations are being added so that you can send your fleet to new locations, including new locations in USA, Italy, and Portugal. Finally, there are many bug fixes to be included, such as a fix for the taxiing path for small cargo planes in Muscat, the no internet connection detected error message, increasing maintenance slots in Bari to Frankfurt, and an increase in the service capacity in Muscat. This increase in service capacity raises the most amount of services you can have from 15 to 20 and raises it to 25 for fuel. There are many more bug fixes in this update, and you can check the website for a full list or subscribe to the channel because we will be posting a video when the update comes out with the full list. Please be aware that sometimes the items that are planned for the next update, they can be delayed as the developers choose to work on potential issues or bugs that can happen. Next, we will look beyond the upcoming update and look at the future for World of Airports. On October 22nd, 2021, World of Airports posted on their Instagram account a post to celebrate World of Airports' 2nd anniversary. In this post, they celebrate the last 2 years. They've released 4 new airports, 37 new aircrafts, 558 liveries, and 3.3 million players, with a 4.8 rating out of 5. They also announced the next airport, which is going to be LEJ. They announced new cargo aircraft, including the Antonov series, the B777, and the B757. They announced a new contract system for generic airlines, which will change the way non-player aircraft are acquired. And they announced the Airline Manager, which will include features like live tracking, route planning, contracting, crew management, advanced flight economics, and more. What a fantastic announcement for them to make on their 2nd anniversary. World of Airports developer Kubasan also hosted a channel on the official World of Airports Discord called Ask the Developer, where they answered the community's questions about the game. One of the questions that we saw was from Mr. Frosty. How soon can we see widgets coming to the game? The developer says widgets for phone and watch are under development. There are some issues with data sharing. Kubasan expects that will be introduced together with the very huge Game Changer feature. The next question comes from Crappy Chips, just asking for confirmation if LEJ is going to be the next airport. This question was posted before the Instagram post, and Kubasan says that they currently have 3 airports under development. It depends which one will be completed at first, but it'll very probably be LEJ as first. The next question comes from Blue Sea Airlines. Will the AN-124 come out with LEJ? Kubasan says, we plan to make a massive cargo update together with LEJ. The next question comes from Cookie Monster. Since Alitalia and Flybe went bust, what is the status with historic airlines being added or being in the game? The developer answers, at the beginning, we decided to follow real world and they removed Flybe from the game. But then comes COVID, which destroys aviation world, so they changed their minds and kept them. In the case of Alitalia, we will follow their strategy and change names and liveries when they change it too. But for historical airlines like Pan Am, we plan to introduce one special historical airport which will have only historical arrivals. This is my personal project dream to have it in our game. The next question comes from Lord Wolf 44. Will there be some special joint use airports between civilian and military use? And Kubasan says we will focus on civilian airports and operations. DKT asks, do you guys have a plan to invert the runway direction for certain airports between updates in the future? The best example would be changing Nagoya runway direction because it is pretty common in real life compared to other airports in the game. Kubasan says this is a great question. It's connected with their plans to affect landing directions with wind, but it's a very big challenge from the technical point of view because of their automatic taxiing system. Ao Itchan is a big fan of airports like Bari, which have a single runway operations. He asks, are there any plans to add a new smaller airport into the game? He knows that some people think bigger is better, but sometimes it's nice to play the smaller airports. Kubasan agrees. He also enjoys the small airports and thinks that smaller airports with more management tasks are the future. Michael So asks, is there a schedule or timeline to have all current planes being updated to the advanced model? The developer says, we know what will be next, but advanced scheduling is impossible. Only few people work on the game full time, and they need to split priorities to bug fixing, new features, development, new models, and airports and remakes of current ones. A random Egyptian asks about all the stuff that they tease on their Instagram story that isn't on the portal. So, are those items planned for the next update or the update after that? And Kubasan says, all items in update are on portal, but some of them are added just before the release, and if we tease them, we work on them. Cookie Monster says that he would like to see more vintage planes, stuff like 727s, MD-90s, and he asks if they would be part of this historic airport mentioned before, or if they're going to be treated as normal planes or like the Comet. The developer answers, this together with old airlines will be content for the special historical airport. You can guess which one it'll be. Hint, completely replaced with city buildings. Sheck Airlines asks, I know this is a stupid question, but have you ever considered making the game cross-platform? For example, on PC, PlayStation, or Xbox? Kubasan says, of course, but until Google Firebase will make an SDK for these platforms, we don't have any technical possibility to do it. And then he clarifies the of course was about the consideration of it and not the stupidity of the question. Random Egyptian asks, there was an airport called PRG 2035 Plus planned. Did you replace it with the special historical airport, or are you going to update PRG in 2035? Kubasan answers that PRG 2035 was moved to a separate project. It will extend our first game, Airport PRG, which is focused on the Prague airport only. Crappy Chips asks, is the A346 also coming in the next update? And Kubasan says yes. Kyle asks, Is cloud saving services coming soon? Like having a Facebook connection to transfer saves from Android to iOS and vice versa. Kubasan says, basically all data are on the cloud now. We use two authentication services, Apple, Android, which are not compatible with each other. There is necessary a third independent one. They tried to use Facebook, but Facebook together with authentication will put ads and other stuff into the game to sniff data from our players, which goes against their concept. So they're continuously checking technical possibility to share authentication across platforms. Czech Airlines asks, have you ever considered an offline mode for WOA, which doesn't require internet connection? Kubasan answers simply yes, but the technology doesn't allow for it. Blue Sea Airlines asks, is there any chance for snowy scenery in more airports this year, such as in Prague, IAD, or NGO? Kubasan says yes, in Prague and IAD, connected with a de-icing minigame. For NGO, they never expect to have snow on the ground. Metscott asks, will the Concorde also be reworked to look better? And Kubasan says yes. Random Egyptian says, in the portal, it says remodeled services will only have the PRG brand. Will you give them the brand for the other airports too if they have one, of course? And they say yes. Metscott asks, any plans on having planes fly different distances instead of the same distance per plane type? For example, all L planes fly to any location even though they don't meet the distance. I totally worded that wrong. In real life, certain planes can't fly as far as others even though they are the same size. 777 range is 4650 nautical miles, while A350 is 8100 nautical miles. And Kubasan says, we are working on an airline manager feature. There will be influence of plane, type, engine, capacity, and more for range. The next question here, what sort of release cadence would you be most comfortable with in regards to major, minor, or patch updates? I'm not talking about what is realistic, but as developers, what would suit your way of working and what do you strive for going forward? We are able to release one update in 1 to 2 months with a mix of bug fixes, new content, and some not so huge features. Biggest features and new airports take about 3 or 4 months. Cookie Monster mentions about maintenance buildings that were mentioned in the past, so you could perform maintenance at your own airport, and asks, is that still planned? And Kubasan says yes. That is part of the planned co-op gameplay. You will maintain yours and other players' planes. Llama Federation asks, will the A320 be developed because it needs advanced development? And Kubasan says yes. Cookie Monster asks, what is your favorite thing in the game? And Kubasan enjoys looking from tower on traffic in Innsbruck. Kubifan asks, hello, I see some old 747 operator like ANA, Cathay Pacific, KLM, etc. have their liveries on an in-game 747 that look like a 747-8 in real life. Can you remove liveries of the old operator for the sake of realism? Kubasan says all 747 liveries will be attached to the correct models when we have them. Bet asks, will there be an update to add random events such as plane crash, storms, and such? Metscott responds with no, and then Kubasan comes in and gives some more clarification. Storms are already there. Crashes will never happen, but some unexpected events affecting handling are in plan. The future for this game is very exciting, with lots of new features, planes, updates, and developer support. I'm super excited for this game, and I hope to see you in the next video with more tips, updates, and information about this game. This is Fat Airlines. I hope you have an amazing day.